What's going on, YouTube? Happy holidays. The holidays are finally here. We have Hanukkah starting this week. Christmas is just a couple of weeks away. Kwanzaa's coming up. And most importantly, we can kiss 2020 goodbye and start a brand new year in just a few short weeks. So, whether it's been a good year, a bad year, probably guessing it's been not your greatest year, but hopefully there are some moments that you found cherishable during the year, no matter what 2020 might have brought you. But as we bring this year almost to a close, wanted to just do a couple more episodes, talk to you a little bit about a few things. Maybe you're out there shopping for a last minute gift. Maybe you have a geek or nerd in the family that you're trying to buy for. Well, you're in luck. We've got a few books that we're going to talk to you about today that are relatively cheap, some very, very cheap. And I'm talking like $1, $2, $5 that you might be able to find out there, whether it's on eBay or in a local comic shop to keep your eyes peeled for if they've got a decent, backlog of older books. Also, stocking stuffer idea, not sure if you're aware, but Hershey's is doing a partnership with DC. So my girlfriend actually found this. So I believe they have one for the entire Justice League. This one is 2 out of 7, Batman. We'll add a still photo of this for you in post-production. But be on the lookout of these. These look kind of cool. I'm sure they taste just like regular Hershey's, but it's got a cool comic theme wrapper. So we're breaking in the new microphone. Hopefully that addresses some of the sound issues, although to be fair, I think a few of those were on Chris's end. He's not joining us this week. He'll be back again soon. But going to talk to you about some X-Men, going to talk to you about a few other books, the DC Future State that starts next month. Got a still photo of that to throw in here to show you what's on tap for early 2021. Also got a little bit of a sneak preview for what just came out from DC, what's coming out in the next couple weeks to close out 2020. So we're going to show that for you in a second. And last but not least, also wanted to talk to you a bit about Star Wars. So for those of you following The Mandalorian, no spoilers here, but there was some big news in the last 2 excellent episodes. And so if you are staying on the ball with that, then there are a couple of books that you might want to go out and grab. So we'll be talking about that in a future episode coming up soon. Also, for those of you that are playing the Marvel's Avengers game, you know that Kate Bishop, the second Hawkeye, she just became available on the platform and the game this week. So that's also important if you're looking for Young Avengers #1. Her first appearance is in that book, so you might want to grab that. And yeah, let's get started. First up, we have Fantastic Four #67. Now, this book is famous for having an iconic cover. It's got the cocoon housing him, later known as Adam Warlock, bursting out front and center. We've got the Fantastic Four and other characters surrounding the cocoon. One thing to watch out for with this issue is that in 1994, J.C. Penney reprinted this and made it part of a Christmas catalog. So the one way to tell if you are getting the real McCoy or not is to look on the back cover. Apparently there is a advertisement for Stridex, which wasn't around back when this originally came out. So the actual one has an advertisement for selling Christmas cards. I was able to find this in a bin for Silver Age, but it's not in great condition. As you can see, it actually has a small tear on the front cover. The color's faded, it's creased. Spine is really decrepit. So I got this for 30 bucks. Still a decent buy. In poor condition, according to Key Collector, it goes for 45, and it is going for upwards to 700 or more in really great condition. So, of course, at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, you see the tease of the cocoon, and at the end, the character says, I think I'll call him Adam, which is alluding to Adam Warlock. I talked a little bit about it more in the very first episode where we were talking about Adam Warlock in the Infinity Watch. So it seems that it's only a matter of time, whether it's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 or something else, that Adam Warlock will eventually make his debut in the MCU. So I would suggest getting this book now, because it seems like it's a question of when and not if Adam Warlock debuts, and of course this would be his first cameo appearance. Sticking with Disney, our second issue is Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 3 from 2017. Now, some of you may recall that I have previously discussed the hype around Dr. Aphra and showed you the CGC of Darth Vader number 3 that I picked up, which is her first appearance, as well as Dr. Aphra number 1, which is her first appearance of her own series. This issue number 3, again, was able to find this for basically $1, and while on its face it may not seem very important, this is really going off on speculation here, but this issue is the first appearance of Magna Tolvan, who is a female officer in the Empire. And at one point subsequent to this issue, Dr. Aphra and she have, they exchange a kiss. Disney is checking all the right boxes here with Dr. Aphra. They've got a strong female protagonist. They've got touching on the LGBTQ community with the apparent girlfriend of Dr. Aphra and her apparently being a lesbian. So, like I've said before, this, I believe, will be a Disney Plus series within the next 12 to 24 months. So I would imagine that Magna Tolvan would work her way into the show at some point. So I would suggest that behind Darth Vader number 3 and Dr. Aphra number 1, you make Dr. Aphra number 3 the next on your list of importance for collecting key issues for Dr. Aphra. Third on our list is Champions number 1. This is a negative space variant cover from December 2016 by John Tyler Christopher. This is a really cool cover. Any of you that are familiar with the Marvel's Avengers game that I've talked about before, this is one of the nameplate options that you can acquire throughout the game based on the cover of this issue. So I actually have that set as my Miss Marvel nameplate. So I wanted to grab the issue, and this, in really great near mint condition, is going upwards to $70, $75. I was able to snag it for about half that price from the Coffee and Comics guys in Meriden, Connecticut. The regular cover for this issue is nothing really special about it, but there is another variant that I'd love to get my hands on. That's by Alex Ross, who I've talked about before in previous episodes. It's a 1 in 100 variant depicting Miss Marvel, Nova, and Spider-Man Miles Morales burning their Avengers membership cards on the cover, and that's pretty cool. That goes for over $200 because it is a 1 in 100 variant cover. Next on our list, we have War Machine #1. Now, I've talked about this in a previous episode where we covered Iron Man 281 and 282. 281 being the first appearance of the War Machine armor. 282 is the first cover appearance of the armor, and this really is in homage to that 282 cover. Here we have that same black and silver. It's actually a 3D cover, so it's raised off the page. We've got Jim Rhodes now donning the War Machine armor, and this isn't a key issue, but it really feels like it's the completion of that three-part trilogy. So it's an iconic cover, and you just gotta have it. In the last few months, I've done a lot of dollar bin diving and have barely really scratched the surface on some of these books. So I wanted to get through a chunk of them. So I'm gonna do a quick change of pace here and talk to you a bit about 10 X-Men books, all found in dollar bins. They're all key issues. And again, it's all speculation. Well, besides the fact that I've been a lifelong X-Men fan from way back in the day, got into it around, the iconic X-Men #1 with Chris Claremont and Jim Lee, around the time that the X-Men cartoon show premiered on Saturday morning television. So I've been an X-Men fan for decades and started picking up some of these books on the cheap that hopefully when the X-Men make their debut into the MCU, maybe they'll use some of these characters, maybe not. But again, they're all key issues. They all should be able to be found for $1. So here you go. Happy hunting. Let's get to it. First on our list is All New X-Men #1. This is from January of 2013, written by the very popular Brian Michael Bendis. So this is the first appearance of Tempest, a mutant that can stop time, and also the first appearance of Triage, a mutant with healing abilities. Then we have All New X-Men #17. So this is in that same volume as the one that I talked about earlier, issue #1, written by Brian Michael Bendis. This is the first cameo appearance of Ra's Darkholme, son of Wolverine and Mystique, in an alternate reality. Then we have Astonishing X-Men Volume 4, #6, and this is from February 2018, written by Charles Soule, who, really cool guy. Got a chance to meet him a few years ago at New York Comic Con when that actually was a thing. And of course, he did the, Death of Wolverine, among other things. So this is on the key collector list because it's the first appearance of Charles Xavier as X, inhabiting the body of Phantom X. And I've talked about him in a previous episode. I was able to get his second appearance. Still don't have Phantom X first appearance. Then we have Astonishing X-Men Volume 3, issue #10. So this was years earlier, published in May of 2005, written by the famous Joss Whedon. And this is the first appearance of Sidron and Agent Deems, who are agents of S.W.O.R.D. Keeping with that same run, working our way backwards, this is Astonishing X-Men #1 from Volume 3, again written by Joss Whedon. This is from July 2004. I have a variant cover. The regular cover features a lot of the X-Men on the cover, such as Cyclops, Wolverine, Beast, etc. And this is the first appearance of Ord. Next we have X-Men Gold number 30, and this came out in June of 18. There you see on the cover, it appears to be bride and groom. We've got Till Death Do Us Part. Well, who are the newlyweds? Well, it is Gambit and Rogue. This is the marriage of Gambit and Rogue, therefore it is a key issue. Next we have Uncanny X-Men number 1 from volume 3, and this came out in April of 2013, also written by Brian Michael Bendis. Now this is the first appearance of Goldballs, mutant with the power that, produces golden spheres that are eggs. And this is further played out in House of X issue number 5. It's also the debut of Magneto's white costume. Now, if you can get your hands on it, there is a variant cover to this, a 1 in 25 variant by Gabriel Delato. That is going for upwards of 25 or higher in near mint condition. But I just have the standard cover, hence was able to find it in a dollar box. But even still, it does go for around $7-8, so still was a good find in my opinion. So I lied. Actually, these next two issues are not really key issues, but they are very cool. One of them, speaking of Chris Claremont, one of them was written by him. So this is X-Men Black, and they did a short run here, X-Men Black Magneto number 1, X-Men Black Mystique number 1. They also had a series called X-Men Black Emma Frost, and that number 1 is actually a key issue according to Key Collector, but these other two are not. But because they are both drawn by J. Scott Campbell, and a lot of his work goes for big bucks, the Magneto cover actually is not going for that much, but the Mystique book, in really great condition, I've seen this going for anywhere between $10 and $20, whether it's at a local shop or on eBay. So I was able to get it for $1. I think that was a good find. But again, generally speaking, a lot of the covers that J. Scott Campbell does tends to be worth more than the purchase price if you can get it at cost. So, or in this case, get it for $1. Last issue of X-Men that I'm going to talk about is Ultimate X-Men number 1. This came out in February 2001. Now back then, I was a huge fan of Ultimate Spider-Man. I've got some of those issues that I'm sure I will talk about in a future episode. To be honest, I was not actually reading Ultimate X-Men at the time, but recently did go back just to get X-Men issue number 1. Like the last issue I just talked about, for $1, it's a good buy. It goes for around $7-8 in near mint condition these days. It's just the first team appearance of the Ultimate X-Men, so that's Professor X, Marvel Girl, Cyclops, Storm, Colossus, Beast, and Iceman. Now there is a variant cover. It was limited to 2,000 copies by Adam Kubert, so that goes for upwards of 50 or more. If you can get your hands on that, it's a black and white cover with Wolverine tearing through the cover. Actually looks pretty cool, but the actual regular cover isn't that bad either. So that's it on X-Men and some of these dollar buys. I've got a bunch more, like I said, to go through in the future, so stay tuned. Last on this week's list is DC Nation Presents Future State. Now this was a local comic shop day exclusive. It was a promotional release with details about the upcoming 2-month event, so like 3 or 4 issue story arc, Future State, which is coming out early next year from DC. Now there was a local comic shop day Black Border version, which was a limited variant to 1 per store. So that's going for around $40 or so. So if you got your hands on that, congratulations. I was only able to score the blue border, which was, well, it was a free giveaway, but it's more prevalent out there, so it's not really worth anything. But it's it's a sneak preview of things to come. I'm sort of intrigued by where this might be going. They're introducing a whole host of new characters, so we're going to have a new Batman, new Aquaman, um, you know, several other new Wonder Woman. So we've got Yara Flor, who's going to be the Brazilian Wonder Woman. We've got Andy Curry, who is the daughter of Arthur Curry and Mira. That was, well, she was in the womb in Aquaman 57 that came out earlier this year in February. I remember that because it was one of the last new issues I bought before COVID forced a lot of the comic shops to shut down temporarily. Um, Now we've also got a new Superman. So there's John Kent, who is the son of Superman, Clark Kent, and Lois Lane. And now this is the first appearance of Rowan Kent, who's the new Superman of Earth, and he is the son of John Kent. And it'll also include the first appearance of Ronan Kent, who becomes a Blue Lantern, and she is the daughter of John Kent. So lots of interesting stuff coming with that. I'm sure I'll be talking about that at some point in 2021. So here you can see what is upcoming in this DC Future State preview, what's coming out during the first half of 2021 as far as the Future State story arc is concerned. Also want to drop in here a quick preview of what just came out and what is still to come later this month from DC in general, and also throwing in a quick shot of the candy bar that I mentioned at the beginning of the episode featuring the Justice League. There are 7 different covers or wrappers to collect. What's that? Oh, we're back. Well, what can I say? This stuff is really good, and I'm a sucker for chocolate. So, hope you got one of these, or will get one of these in your stocking in a couple weeks, because, well, it just tastes like a Hershey's bar, but who doesn't love Hershey's? So, hopefully you had fun this week. Hopefully you learned something new here at the Commerce of Comics. Remember, here at the Commerce of Comics, we are always about comics 24/7. So tune in next week. We're going to talk to you a bit more about what's coming out at the end of the month, what's on tap for early 2021. And until next time, stay safe, stay nerdy, and happy holidays.